A vehicle pulls out in front of you at a junction. What should you do? Swerve past it and sound your horn. Flash your headlights and drive up close behind. Slow down and be ready to stop. Accelerate past it immediately.
Try to be ready for the unexpected. Plan ahead and learn to anticipate hazards. You'll then give yourself more time to react to any problems that might occur. Be tolerant of other road users who don't behave correctly.
Which of these signs means there's a double bend ahead?
Triangular signs give you a warning of hazards ahead. They're there to give you time to prepare for the hazard. For example, by adjusting your speed.
You're going through a congested tunnel and have to stop. What should you do? Pull up very close to the vehicle in front to save space. Ignore any message signs as they're never up to date. Keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front. Make a U-turn and find another route.
It's important to keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front at all times. This still applies in congested tunnels, even if you're moving very slowly or have stopped. If the vehicle in front breaks down, you may need room to maneuver past it.
You're driving along this road. What should you be prepared to do? Sound your horn and continue. Slow down and give way. Report the driver to the police. Squeeze through the gap.
Sometimes, large vehicles may need more space than other road users. If a vehicle needs more time and space to turn, be prepared to stop and wait.
You're towing a trailer on a motorway. What's the speed limit for a car towing a trailer on this road? 40 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour.
Don't forget that you're towing a trailer. If you're towing a small, light trailer, it won't reduce your vehicle's performance by very much. However, strong winds or buffeting from large vehicles might cause the trailer to snake from side to side. Be aware of your speed and don't exceed the reduced speed limit imposed on vehicles towing trailers.
What does this sign tell you? No through road. End of traffic calming zone. Free parking zone ends. No waiting zone ends.
The blue and red circular sign on its own means that waiting restrictions are in force. This sign shows that you're leaving the controlled zone and waiting restrictions no longer apply.
When will anti-lock brakes take effect? When you don't brake quickly enough. When the wheels are about to lock. When you haven't seen a hazard ahead. When you're speeding on a slippery road surface.
If your car is fitted with anti-lock brakes, they'll only activate when they sense that the wheels are about to lock. By preventing the wheels from locking, you'll be able to steer to avoid the hazard, while maximum braking is also applied.
On which occasion may you enter a box junction? When there are fewer than 2 vehicles ahead. When signalled by another road user. When your exit road is clear. When traffic signs direct you.
Yellow box junctions are marked on the road to prevent the road becoming blocked. Don't enter the box unless your exit road is clear. You may wait in the box if you want to turn right and your exit road is clear but oncoming traffic or other vehicles waiting to turn right are preventing you from making the turn.
What's the legal minimum depth of tread for car tyres? 1 millimetre, 1.6 millimetres, 2.5 millimetres, 4 millimetres.
Car tyres must have sufficient depth of tread to give them a good grip on the road surface. The legal minimum for cars is 1.6 millimetres. This depth should be across the central 3/4 of the breadth of the tyre and around the entire circumference.
When must you notify the licensing authority? When your health affects your driving. When you have to work abroad. When you lend your vehicle to someone. When your vehicle needs an MOT certificate.
The licensing authorities hold the records of all vehicles, drivers and riders in Great Britain and Northern Ireland. They need to know if you have a medical condition that might affect your ability to drive safely. You must tell them if your health deteriorates and you become unfit to drive.
What does this sign mean? No route for pedestrians and cyclists. A route for pedestrians only. A route for cyclists only. A route for pedestrians and cyclists.
This sign shows a shared route for pedestrians and cyclists. When it ends, the cyclists will be rejoining the main road.
What does this sign mean? Wait at the barriers. Wait at the crossroads. Give way to trams. Give way to farm vehicles.
Obey the give way signs. Trams are unable to steer around you if you misjudge when it's safe to enter the junction.
Why should you be cautious when going past this stationary bus? There is traffic approaching in the distance. The driver may open the door. People may cross the road in front of it. The road surface will be slippery.
A stationary bus at a bus stop can hide pedestrians who might try to cross the road just in front of it. Drive at a speed that will enable you to respond safely if you have to.
How will a police officer in a patrol vehicle normally get you to stop? Flash the headlights, indicate left and point to the left. Wait until you stop, then approach you. Use the siren, overtake, cut in front and stop. Pull alongside you, use the siren and wave you to stop.
You must obey signals given by the police. If a police officer in a patrol vehicle wants you to pull over, they'll indicate this without causing danger to you or other traffic.
You're on a long motorway journey. What should you do if you start to feel sleepy? Play some loud music. Stop on the hard shoulder for a rest. Drive faster to complete your journey sooner. Leave the motorway and stop in a safe place.
If you feel sleepy, you should leave the motorway at a service area or at the next exit and stop in a safe place to rest. A supply of fresh air can help to keep you alert before you reach the exit, but it isn't a substitute for stopping and resting.
You're about to go down a steep hill. What should you do to control the speed of your vehicle? Select a high gear and use the brakes carefully. Select a high gear and use the brakes firmly. Select a low gear and use the brakes carefully. Select a low gear and avoid using the brakes.
When driving down a steep hill, gravity will cause your vehicle to speed up. This will make it more difficult for you to stop. To help keep your vehicle speed under control, select a lower gear to give you more engine braking and make careful use of the brakes.
How will your vehicle be affected when you drive up steep hills? The higher gears will pull better. The steering will feel heavier. Overtaking will be easier. The engine will work harder.
The engine will need more power to pull the vehicle up the hill. When approaching a steep hill, you should select a lower gear to help maintain your speed. You should do this without hesitation, so that you don't lose too much speed before engaging the lower gear.
What makes the vehicle in the picture environmentally friendly? It's powered by gravity. It's powered by diesel. It's powered by electricity. It's powered by unleaded petrol.
Trams are powered by electricity and therefore don't emit exhaust fumes. They ease traffic congestion by offering drivers an alternative to using their car, particularly in busy cities and towns.
What basic rule applies when you're using a motorway? Use the lane that has the least traffic. Keep to the left-hand lane unless overtaking. Overtake on the side that's clearest. Try to keep above 50 miles per hour to prevent congestion.
You should normally travel in the left-hand lane unless you're overtaking a slower-moving vehicle. When you've finished overtaking, move back into the left-hand lane, but don't cut across in front of the vehicle that you've overtaken.
Anti-lock brakes reduce the chances of skidding. When is this particularly important? When you're driving down steep hills. When you're braking during normal driving. When you're braking in an emergency. When you're driving on good road surfaces.
The anti-lock braking system, ABS, will operate when the brakes have been applied harshly and the wheels are about to lock, such as during an emergency. ABS will reduce the likelihood of your car skidding, but it isn't a substitute for safe and responsible driving.
Who's especially in danger of not being seen as you reverse your car? Motorcyclists, car drivers, cyclists, children.
It may not be possible to see a small child through the rear windscreen of your vehicle. Be aware of this before you reverse. If there are children about, get out and check that it's clear before reversing.
You enter a road where there are road humps. What should you do? Maintain a reduced speed throughout. Accelerate quickly between each one. Always keep to the maximum legal speed. Drive slowly at school times only.
The humps are there for a reason. To protect vulnerable road users by reducing the speed of traffic. Don't accelerate harshly between the humps. Put the safety of others first and maintain a reduced speed throughout the zone.
You're turning left into a side road. What hazard should you be especially aware of? One-way street. Pedestrians. Traffic congestion. Parked vehicles.
Make sure that you've reduced your speed and are in the correct gear for the turn. Look into the road before you turn, and always give way to any pedestrians who are crossing.
What can rapid acceleration and heavy braking lead to? Reduced pollution, increased fuel consumption, reduced exhaust emissions, increased road safety.
Using the controls smoothly can reduce fuel consumption by about 15%, as well as reducing wear and tear on your vehicle. Plan ahead and anticipate changes of speed well in advance. This will reduce the need to accelerate rapidly or brake sharply.
Which road user has caused a hazard? The parked car, arrowed A, the pedestrian waiting to cross, arrowed B, the moving car, arrowed C, the car turning, arrowed D.
The car, arrowed A, is parked within the area marked by zigzag lines at the pedestrian crossing. Parking here is illegal. It also blocks the view for pedestrians wishing to cross the road, restricts the view of the crossing for approaching traffic.
You're invited to a pub lunch. You know that you'll have to drive in the evening. What's your best course of action? Avoid mixing your alcoholic drinks. Don't drink any alcohol at all. Have some milk before drinking alcohol. Eat a hot meal with your alcoholic drinks.
Alcohol will stay in your body for several hours and may make you unfit to drive later in the day. Drinking during the day will also affect your performance at work or study.
On which occasion should you inflate your tyres to more than their normal pressure? When the roads are slippery. When the vehicle is fitted with anti-lock brakes. When the tyre tread is worn below 2 millimeters. When carrying a heavy load.
Check the vehicle handbook. This should give you guidance on the correct tyre pressures for your vehicle and when you may need to adjust them. If you're carrying a heavy load, you may need to adjust the headlights as well. Most cars have a switch on the dashboard to do this.
How should you give an arm signal to turn left?
There may be occasions when other road users are unable to see your indicator, such as in bright sunlight or at a busy, complicated junction. In these cases, an arm signal will help others to understand your intentions.
You're driving on a motorway. By mistake, you go past the exit that you wanted to take. What should you do? Carefully reverse on the hard shoulder. Carry on to the next exit. Carefully reverse in the left-hand lane. Make a U-turn at a gap in the central reservation.
It's illegal to reverse, cross the central reservation, or drive against the traffic flow on a motorway. If you miss your exit, carry on until you reach the next one. Ask yourself why you missed your exit. If you think that your concentration is fading, take a break before completing your journey.
You're braking on a wet road. Your vehicle begins to skid. It doesn't have anti-lock brakes. What's the first thing you should do? Quickly pull up the handbrake. Release the foot brake. Push harder on the brake pedal. Gently use the accelerator.
If the skid has been caused by braking too hard for the conditions, release the brake. You may then need to reapply and release the brake again. You may need to do this a number of times. This will allow the wheels to turn, and so some steering should also be possible.
What will happen if your car's wheels are unbalanced? The steering will pull to one side. The steering will vibrate. The brakes will fail. The tyres will deflate.
If your wheels are out of balance, it will cause the steering to vibrate at certain speeds. This isn't a fault that will put itself right. So take your vehicle to a garage or tyre fitter to have the wheels rebalanced.
When may you drive a motor car in this bus lane? Outside its hours of operation. To get to the front of a traffic queue. You may not use it at any time. To overtake slow-moving traffic.
Some bus lanes operate only during peak hours, and other vehicles may use them outside these hours. Make sure you check the sign for the hours of operation before driving in a bus lane.
You're going through a long tunnel. What will warn you of congestion or an incident ahead? Hazard warning lines. Other drivers flashing their lights. Variable message signs. Areas with hatch markings.
Follow the instructions given by the signs or by tunnel officials. In congested tunnels, a minor incident can soon turn into a major one, with serious or even fatal results.
You've just passed these warning lights. What hazard would you expect to see next? A level crossing with no barrier? An ambulance station? A school crossing patrol? An opening bridge?
These lights warn that children may be crossing the road to a nearby school. Slow down so that you're ready to stop if necessary.
You're approaching a zebra crossing. Pedestrians are waiting to cross. What should you do? Give way to the elderly and infirm only. Slow down and prepare to stop. Use your headlights to indicate they can cross. Wave at them to cross the road.
As you approach a zebra crossing, look for pedestrians waiting to cross. Where you can see them, slow down and prepare to stop. Be especially careful of children and older people, who may have difficulty judging when it's safe to cross.
There's a bus lane on your left. The signs show no times of operation. What does this mean? The lane isn't in operation. The lane is only in operation at peak times. The lane is in operation 24 hours a day. The lane is only in operation in daylight hours.
Bus lane signs show the vehicles allowed to use the lane and also its times of operation. Where no times are shown, the bus lane is in operation 24 hours a day.
What should you do as you approach this bridge? Move to the right, slow down, change gear, keep to 30 miles per hour.
You should slow down and be cautious. The bridge is narrow, and there may not be enough room for you to pass an oncoming vehicle at this point. Also, there's no footpath, so be aware of pedestrians in the road.
What will help when you're trying to move off on snow? Use the car's lowest gear. Use a higher gear than normal. Use a high engine speed. Use the handbrake and foot brake together.
If you attempt to move off in a low gear, there will be more torque, turning force, at the driven wheels than if you use a higher gear. More torque makes it easier for the tyres to lose grip and so spin the wheels.
In daylight, an approaching motorcyclist is using dipped headlights. Why? So that the rider can be seen more easily, to stop the battery overcharging, to improve the rider's vision. The rider is inviting you to proceed.
A motorcycle can be lost from sight behind another vehicle. The use of the headlights helps to make it more conspicuous and therefore more easily seen.
In which circumstances may you use hazard warning lights? When driving on a motorway, to warn traffic behind of a hazard ahead. When you're double parked on a two-way road. When your direction indicators aren't working. When warning oncoming traffic that you intend to stop.
Hazard warning lights are an important safety feature. Use them when driving on a motorway to warn traffic behind you of danger ahead. You should also use them if your vehicle has broken down and is causing an obstruction.
There are flashing amber lights under a school warning sign. What action should you take? Reduce speed until you're clear of the area. Keep up your speed and sound the horn. Increase your speed to clear the area quickly. Wait at the lights until they change to green.
The flashing amber lights are switched on to warn you that children may be crossing near a school. Slow down and take extra care, as you may have to stop.
At which type of crossing are cyclists allowed to ride across with pedestrians? Toucan, puffin, pelican, zebra.
A toucan crossing is designed to allow pedestrians and cyclists to cross at the same time. Look out for cyclists approaching the crossing at speed.
Before overtaking a large vehicle, you should keep well back. Why is this? To give acceleration space to overtake quickly on blind bends. To get the best view of the road ahead. To leave a gap in case the vehicle stops and rolls back. To offer other drivers a safe gap if they want to overtake you.
When following a large vehicle, keep well back. If you're too close, you won't be able to see the road ahead, and the driver of the long vehicle might not be able to see you in their mirrors.
What should you do when you're unsure whether it's safe to reverse your vehicle? Sound your horn. Rev your engine. Get out and check. Reverse slowly.
A small child could be hidden directly behind you, so if you can't see all around your vehicle, get out and have a look. You could also ask someone reliable outside the vehicle to guide you.
What will be a serious distraction from driving? Looking at road maps. Switching on your demister. Using your windscreen washers. Looking in your door mirror.
Looking at road maps while driving is very dangerous. If you aren't sure of your route, stop in a safe place and check the map. You must not allow anything to take your attention away from the road while you're driving.
You're using a smart motorway. What happens when it's operating? Speed limits above lanes are advisory. The national speed limit will apply. The speed limit is always 30 miles per hour. You must obey the speed limits shown.
When a smart motorway is operating, you must follow the mandatory signs on the gantries above each lane, including the hard shoulder. Variable speed limits help keep the traffic moving and also help to prevent bunching.
You've broken down on a motorway. When you use the emergency telephone, what will you be asked for? Details about your vehicle. Your driving license details. The name of your vehicle's insurance company. Your employer's details.
Have the correct details ready before you use the emergency telephone. The operator will need to know the details of your vehicle and its fault. For your own safety, always face the traffic when you speak on a roadside telephone.
Which of these should you allow extra room when overtaking? Lorry, tractor, bicycle, road sweeping vehicle.
Don't pass cyclists too closely, as they may need to veer around a pothole or other obstacle, be buffeted by side wind, be made unsteady by your vehicle. Always leave as much room as you would for a car, and don't cut in front of them.
Where can you find reflective amber studs on a motorway? Separating the slip road from the motorway. On the left-hand edge of the road. On the right-hand edge of the road. Separating the lanes.
At night or in poor visibility, reflective studs on the road help you to judge your position on the carriageway.
What does this road marking mean? Don't cross the line. No stopping allowed. You're approaching a hazard. No overtaking allowed.
Road markings will warn you of a hazard ahead. A single broken line along the centre of the road, with long markings and short gaps, is a hazard warning line. Don't cross it unless you can see that the road is clear well ahead.